I got the new OLED Switch and we're gonna unbox this thing and compare it to the other Switches. We're gonna check out the screen, the speakers, the dock, and everything to find out if it's worth the hype. Let's go. So the newest thing is gonna be this OLED screen, but let's take a look at these Joy-Con real quick. These look awesome. I love the black and white. There's something that's always cool about the Joy-Con, the contrast, right? The black buttons on the bright colors. It always looks really, really cool. So just to confirm, obviously it is the same size as the previous Joy-Con. So if you like that form factor, that doesn't change at all here. And also don't expect the drift to be any better either. Yep, everything looks the same here. And I love, again, those black and white accents. Just looks awesome. One thing you might note too is that ring around the home button. It looks really cool. It appears gray on the black and white, and it actually adds to the aesthetic. This is weird. I've noticed this on both Joy-Con, but mainly the right one. There's something off about the fit and finish here with it. So like, it doesn't quite match up on the sides. It's got this kind of sharp edge actually, which feels like it might scrape me or something like that. And it actually kind of makes it feel more cheap. Joy-Con are usually completely flush right there. So I don't know, maybe it's just a one-off on mine. Let me know if yours has been like that as well. But yeah, I hope it's just a fluke deal. Speaking of black and white, I can't wait to check out that dock, but first, let's get to the main attraction. Wow, okay. It's true what they say, like you have to see it in person to actually think it's that cool, but look at this, like the bezels are so small. It takes up the whole Switch and you can see the gloss actually runs to the very edge. It very quickly makes the old Switch look outdated. And yes, the new system is slightly longer. Keep watching because we're definitely gonna have to turn this on and do some screen comparisons. You'll notice the speakers are slightly firing at an angle this time. It's similar to the Lite, but you'll notice on the Lite, they are firing downwards just a little bit more. This glossy finish going all the way to the edge just actually makes it look more high quality. It almost makes me feel like the $350 price tag is justifiable, but I'm still not sure. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But yeah, everything about this build quality just feels better and more high-end. They even improved the exhaust vent, which on the original Switch had some issues cracking after heating. Oh, this thing does look so cool. And on the back, you can see there is a new kickstand, and we're gonna actually test out the durability here in a moment. But oh, you've got full range of motion, and you've got a full-on kickstand. No more wobbling around, I guarantee you. We're gonna check that out later. And next, we're gonna check out the dock that has a LAN port now. But first, let's take a look at this case and compare it to some of the other ones. Now, I have a few of these cases, and some people don't like them, but I'm a big fan. Of course, it comes with a screen protector as usual. Oh, nice. I do like black. I like the sleek look of black, but the white just really makes it pop. This looks so cool, you all. So just like always, you open it up. Yep. And you've got this right there. You can put some games in there. You can put the Switch face down and then your Joy-Con fit right there. Here's the Mario case as featured in my unboxing video. And wait a second. I think it's the same exact size. I think it's the same exact case. It's just a really simple case. And I found it to be, you know, as protective as I need it to be for just casually, you know, carrying it with me. But let's find out real quick. Do you even really need to buy a new Switch case? My friends, it doesn't really look like it. It'll fit in the old case, which means the old one fits in the new case. But still, I do like it better. It's more grown up, and it has these little pulling whatchamacallit things. The box comes with the usual HDMI, power cord, Joy-Con grip for more intense games, and the straps so you don't throw the Joy-Con and break your TV screen. And now let's take a look at the dock, the brand new dock, and we're also gonna see if the new Switch fits in the old Switch dock and see what that's like. Oh, whoa. Look at the gold, look at the shiny. Look how slick this looks. Bye, old dock, bye. This is gonna look so much better in my living room. The plastic just even seems better, yeah? Again, that logo is just smaller, right? It's a little bit more professional looking, a little more mature. It's actually engraved so you can feel it instead of just being glossy paint. And I like how the whole bottom thing is a stand instead of just having these 4 feet. It also has rounded edges now, kind of giving it that PlayStation 5 look. But clearly the biggest thing is the back of it. So again, being more grown up now, we've got a little smaller logo, right? Doesn't that look better? And then better cable management. Now it's a little bit more prominent, a little bit more obvious. Okay, so maybe that's not better, and that kind of sucks. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it just kind of does that. That sucks. I'm a real convenience kind of guy, right? I love how easy on the old Switch I can just open the back real quick because that kind of sets in my little TV stand, so it's crammed in there, so it's really nice to be able to open just a hinge and swap out cables because I do streaming, so I have to change it to my Xbox sometimes.
I am not a fan of that.
But now we've got a LAN port. That way you can have a faster internet connection. You can plug right in, play those competitive games like Splatoon, Rocket League, and not have to have a slower connection than other people. Now, if you put the old Switch in here, will it scratch it up? It definitely fits in there, right? If you look at the tracks that kind of guide the Switch inside, it's the exact same system. So honestly, I think you're good. As for the new Switch fitting in the old dock, I wouldn't worry about that either. It looks like it fits perfectly. I'm pretty sure Nintendo thought all of this through. Now, we still got to test the new kickstand and the audio, but first, the star of the show, the OLED screen. As far as the color temperature goes, this has the most accurate looking colors, falling somewhere between the blue looking screen of the 2017 V1 version of the Switch and the warmer yellowish displays of the current V2 Switch and Switch Lite. Most people probably don't care about this kind of thing, but it's so refreshing to see because these yellow displays always bugged me. So let's compare the current regular Switch with the OLED model. All of these tests are done with full brightness. Now, the OLED model actually has two color modes you can set it to. The default is vivid mode. This is extra saturated and it shows off the ultra vivid colors of OLED. However, I just prefer standard, so that's what I'm setting it to for now. It looks more natural and it still looks amazing. So the first thing I notice is the OLED screen just looks more vibrant and present. It makes the image feel like it's just right there at the top of the Switch. Now, being a bigger screen, one thing I was worried about was that blown up image looking blurry or pixelated, and it's not. The image has never looked better. Another thing here is just the overall consistency and screen uniformity. You can see here on the old Switch light bleed on the edges, and overall it just kind of looks foggy, gray, and cloudy. I never really noticed that. I never thought it looked that way, but now that I have an OLED, I can totally tell the difference. On an OLED screen, the black colors are actually the pixels being turned all the way off, while the regular Switch display stays entirely lit by a backlight. It's something you don't really even notice until you have an OLED Switch. The OLED Switch does have better viewing angles as well, so that's another plus. As far as brightness goes, the OLED is a little bit brighter, but honestly, I don't think it's enough to make a big difference. Outside in the sunlight, I would say this is where it makes a difference. Again, not much difference in brightness, but enough to make it more playable on the OLED Switch. As you can see, I didn't die, but when I played on the old Switch, I did die a couple times because I just couldn't see the enemies and I would accidentally run into them. When it comes to audio, the speakers on the OLED do sound better. You probably can't tell in a video, but the OLED is slightly louder and a little bit more heavy in the bass and mids. I think this is really cool, but it's really minor and it's not a reason to jump out and get an OLED by itself. We're going to test out the kickstand here in a second, but I have to say, you all, I'm not a big fan of the texture that's on the back of this. It's almost exactly the material that's on that kickstand of the regular Switches. And I don't know about you, but I used to always cringe at the material on the kickstand. I don't know why. I never liked it that much. And now it's all over the back of this. I have to say though, I think it's going to be less of a fingerprint magnet. So that's nice. But as you can see, I think it's going to attract little dust particles more as well because of that texture. And this opens up all the way and it's really good quality, you all. They really improved this, as they should have. I bet you can tell by looking at it, it just feels so sturdy. And that's where your SD card goes, right in there. Now let's take these Switches out for a ride and test out the new kickstand. Let's try that again. So far, not off to a good start. So let's take these Switches out for a ride and test out the new kickstand. The OLED Switch handled the first speed bump flawlessly. The regular Switch, I can't say the same for that one. So it's safe to say the kickstand on the OLED Switch is way better. It's way more sturdy. It's just physically designed a lot better. Even though the hinge opens at different angles, it still never falls or flattens or collapses or folds or anything like that. This thing is awesome. If you're wondering how the battery is, click that box on your screen right there, because I compare the V1 Switch, the V2 Switch, the Switch Lite, and the OLED battery. Or click that other box on your screen right there, and I'll see you over there in another video. Please remember to subscribe for more Switch content if you like this video, and thank you all for watching.